Hello and a very warm welcome to the Grassroots Weekender show, and I'm pleased to announce that we've got a guest in the studio with Colin Fulton. Anyone will recognise Colin. Colin's been in a few times over the last few years. We've talked about grassroots football, we've talked about loads of topics. Colin's always been involved with us, always got on board, and over the, I'd say, several years, Colin's mental health has deteriorated, and we're going to have a little chat to Colin because we've been doing plenty of shows around about mental health and how important it is for the kids to understand, get the awareness going. We talked about kids as young as 9 or 10 self-harming. We've talked about kids' suicidal thoughts, and Colin can understand where I'm coming from here because he's been traumatised throughout his life, and we'll go into that now. And it's probably an emotional day for Col to come in here, and obviously I've got to thank him a lot because to get someone in here who has mental health issues, want to talk about it, want to give his life story a little bit and then pass it on to where we can try and help the kids and who's trying to help him, is just a major plus for me, and I appreciate every second that Col is here talking about it. Col, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Right, Col has come in and he asked me first and foremost, it's not football basically, it's around football, grassroots for the kids, getting an awareness message on. What was it about? And it was about mental health, and Col nearly missed it, and Col will tell you that in his own words. When he knew it was about mental health and the kids, and if he could help by talking us through what he's been through a little bit. We know all situations are different and it affects different people in different ways, but Col, you've had a traumatised life, to say the least. Yeah. You've had to mix in with the likes of myself and everyone in football, and the majority of times I think you're mixing in because you wanted to get your mind off what the trauma you've been through in your life.
Yeah, that's what you do. As I've said to you before, I've had 4 losses. One when I was 14. Then I lost our Flanky 23 years ago next week, and then I lost Maxine, and then I had Janet then. So like when I lost Alan,
Janet's your partner.
Janet, my partner, yeah. When I lost Alan when I was 14, I didn't really know what mental health was. So to me, I'd just lost my brother, and because I was young, it didn't affect me as much. But when I got to the age of 18 and started going on the ale and that, it affected me.
So really it started at 14, you didn't realise you had a traumatisation in your life, you lost your brother, and it carried on, and then you started looking back really, well, every day I suppose, but when you were 18 years of age, you started missing, your brother started thinking.
Yeah, oh yeah. I always missed my brother because we used to sleep in the same room, so it was an empty bed next to me. Yeah. And at first I used to sleep in his bed thinking, he was with me. Because your mind works funny, you know what I mean? And so like, all the time that you used to go out with him and all that, and it was only 1 minute. And the thing that hurts me even more, was I know I'd just left him, and he went around the corner to his mates, and his mates had just gone to the shops with his mum, and if my lad had been earlier, he'd have gone with her. But on the way back, when the accident happened, I won't go into it, but to get up the next day or a couple of days later and read the front page of the Echo, and the Echo saying a lad playing on the site, when I know he wasn't playing on the site. He just completely lied, and I've had to live with that for now, till now, knowing that he was with me 1 minute, he went to his mates, and on the way back, and the girl, I know it was, because after about 5 minutes the girl knocked on the door, and I went, go ahead, I've just left him. And I wouldn't believe it. And little things like that. So you don't just get the loss of Alan, you get the report saying that he was on the site, which was lies, And all the people who worked there said he was, because he got threatened with the job. So they're the things, you know.
So all the traumatisation, obviously, it's everything that's happened within your brother's life that you're reliving.
Yeah.
You're reliving everything that's gone on.
I know everything.
Years.
I get flashbacks now, and you know, talking to you now, I can see the accidents now in my mind, and I could take you up there now and tell you where everything was, where Alan was, where the fellow was who done it, and you know, I could tell you the whole crash scene, and that's 43 years ago.
That's 43 years ago, but then again, Col, something else happened within your life.
Yeah, I got popular.
This is what we were talking about before. Regardless, when we do a show, the phone always rings, doesn't it? And we lowered them and we said, it'll still go off here.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I think I can just, there you go.
Yeah, that's it.
There we go. Now we've got rid of that.
That was on, I'll do mine then.
Yeah, we forget about this all the time, don't we, in the show?
Oh, can't get
But
it.
again, this is what happens when you do a live show.
Yeah.
So going back 43 years ago, Col, that's played on your mind. So you've gone, told us the story about that one. And that, if that wasn't enough, what did you go into next?
When I got out, I met Jan, and I brought her 3 kids up, Frankie, Wayne and Maxine, and I lost Frankie in a car crash. That's coming up to 23 years this year, next week. So like, it's funny when it's coming up to the anniversary, you worry more about it, and then like I can't wait till the 20th, because I'll for the next 20 days, well 19 sorry, I'll think of when I lost him in the car crash, being in the hospital, and then he was alive, and then he died. His mate died in the crash scene itself. He died on his birthday. You know, asking the doctors, can we keep him alive a little bit longer? And then, actually losing him, and then, the burial. That was the next trauma. That was a trauma thing as well.
Did you get that was the same one, and I suppose the comments, Col, because people say about men, they hold it all in very, very well, and we talk about don't suffer in silence. I bet you had the comments where, Col, what you've been through, you've been very brave, and you're holding it in fantastic.
Yeah, I always get that.
And then you stood there and gone, you've got to be having, you've got to show as if you're in charge of things. But deep down, Col,
I don't think it's you being brave. You've got other people around you, and I've still got people around me now, but I had Janet, and we helped each other.
Yeah.
It's when you've got no one, which we'll go into a bit later on, But as I say, you'd always go, I do it now. People go, how are you? I go, I'm all right. I'm not.
I've known you for long enough. I know, when you've got a problem.
I'm not. You can see me
put on a brave face.
Yeah, I just, what it is, because once you start talking about it, if you're in the street and someone goes, how are you? And you start talking about it, you go through the whole lot.
Mm.
And, to me, I'm going on, and sometimes you think, they're not bothered, what are you going on for? But you're getting it out of your head.
Yeah, you want to talk about it, because you're bottled up with it,
yeah.
and it does, and then, okay, Col, you've gone out, you've gone to your football, you've done everything, you turn around, you talk to people, you put on your brave face, and then you've got to go home, you've got to face the realities of the day, what you've been.
That's the hard part, to be honest. As I say, I've moved now, I'm now to a new house.
And you've done that, the reason, because of memories, didn't you?
I've done that because of the flashbacks.
Yeah, and you were hoping that
again, I'll tell you a bit later on.
Yeah.
Because when I lost my daughter, Maxine, she just went asleep. But she chose the wrong path. She wanted to be herself, you know what I mean? And like, she just wanted to be herself. We had the kids. And then when I got the phone call, I was in, funny enough, at Anfield, training grounds, watching the tournament. And I got the phone call about Maxine not waking up. So again, trauma. It's not just she passed away or she got knocked out. It's trauma again. It's another one where like you had to, like I had to turn on Frankie. I had to turn the machine off, which isn't nice, because like I was told that once you have the injury Frankie had, you'll never regain. You know, he would have been a vegetable. And now, last few years, I've heard people with that injury being okay.
It's surgical, I know where you're coming from.
Everyone's different.
Yeah, and then they've had new breakthroughs in medical, and it could have said, and I can understand where you're coming from. We've all done something or been through something like that.
But I do say, I wonder if I would have, it's always if, I wonder if I would have kept that machine on. No, that.
Yeah,
and and I was brought up to trust, the doctors and nurses. It's what
and we still do, and we hope.
Yeah, oh yeah.
There's always hope.
Yeah.
So that was it. After Maxine, that was traumatisation again for you.
Yeah. I'd say Maxine was up in Tower Hill, and that was the first time I'd seen her for 6, because she weren't allowed to come to the house, because we had her kids, and that's the rules of the lifestyle she was leading, and she wasn't looking after the kids, so we saved them going into care, and that was the reason. She was already going down the wrong path, but there was always hope that she'd change her thing. But that's another thing, getting that phone call, going up to
was Maxine, she had mental health issues as well, Col?
I don't know.
Yeah, it could boil down, it's something like that, but...
Yeah, not that I know of. I don't think she did. She just, and a fella just wanted to lead that life. And getting a phone call and then having to identify her, which wasn't nice, because, before that she was alive, and then seeing her 6 years later, in bed asleep. Just didn't have a mark on her none. But apparently, it was just the way the doctors say, don't drink and take paracetamol.
Yeah. And unfortunately,
she used to take paracetamol before she drank. I don't know whether she had headaches or she just done it, I don't know. And that's probably...
And then
she had no drugs in her or nothing. Yeah. The only tablet she had in her was paracetamol. So I don't know whether she took paracetamol just because she wanted to, or she had a headache before she went out. Yeah.
And then, obviously, the love of your life, the backbone of your life, the hardest probably one that really has faced you.
It is, because it starts, because that was a trauma away, because not knowing someone's sick, she went to doctors. I think I've told you this story where she went to doctors and blah blah. And not knowing someone's sick, and then this is the start of the, I'm only saying this because this is the start of the trauma, because you see her, 1 minute you don't know nothing, and then she comes out to doctors and the doctor says, if she gets worse, and I'm going, she's only got a water infection. And then when we get home, she asked me to stay there, downstairs with her, because she didn't want to walk upstairs. And then on the Sunday, her leg went, and that's when we went in hospital. And I didn't get told nothing. We were in there at 8:30, didn't get told nothing. And seeing someone you love in pain, and nothing's getting told what's wrong with her. And then it wasn't until 11:30 in the night a doctor come, and he said, it's thingo. It's what's the word I'm looking for? She's in danger, in other words.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and I'm going, what do you mean? She went, she's not well, like that. And then they brought a doctor in to operate on her. And then from there, they said they got somewhere for her. And then I'm walking up thinking she's got a bed in one of the wards, but she got put in where if someone's just been shot. And that was the start of the trauma, because I couldn't get my head around it. Someone was all right 1 minute, and then seeing her on all these machines, and then getting a phone call the next morning, because when I left her she was laughing and talking. Then I got a phone call saying, you know, that she's bleeding, and then when I went in, we'd have seen her laughing, and that next minute she's in a coma. Yeah, so that's all the trauma, that's what goes on in my head all the time.
So you've obviously had, it really is, you know, what you've been through, Col, and the next step obviously is you had all the worries, you're still having the flashbacks, you're moving house, you're trying to get rid of the memories, not the good memories, but I know where you're coming from, trying to help your mental health out from the flashbacks, but you've had to bring in help, haven't you, Col, to try and get you through things.
Well, as I say, I hadn't lost Janet then. I lost Janet, she come home, she got better, I thought she got better. I still wonder, did she know? Because my biggest flashback I ever get is the actual time it happens. When the blood must have been stopping going to her heart, and her eyes looking at me. She never spoke, and I went to phone the ambulance, and she went, and the image with her eyes wide open and that never leaves me. And then I always say the walk to death, because it took me a minute, because she didn't want me to phone the ambulance. So this is why I'm wondering, did she know? And that's part of the trauma as well. Yeah. You know, and little things happened as well, like the doctor was shouting at her when I walked in, and I just lost it with the doctor, which you would.
Yeah, you're not in control of yourself, are you? No,
because he should know. I'm not a doctor, but when Janet's sick, she hallucinates. Well, he should know that. And she has all wires on her, and she's trying to get off. You know, when he's shouting at her, and you know. But anyway, going back to it, I've never needed help for the first three. I had my family with Alan, and I had my family and my own kids with the other two. And when Janet died, you just think you've got no one, even though you know.
You had mates rallying around, but they're not important as to what your partner was with you, because as we say, she was your lifeline. She was
you always think, you know, that's the last one you're going to be with. You know, and the way you lost her, you know, that's the worst thing ever. Because once we got it, this is what does me mental health worse. You know, it sounds funny what I'm going to say now, but if she would have died in hospital, I'd still suffer with mental health, but it wouldn't be as bad. It's just, it's hard to explain, to see someone in 1 minute be alright, and then next minute cough blood up. These are the memories again, the flashbacks. And then in that minute where I took her to the kitchen where I phoned the ambulance on the sly, that's when she tingled, and I didn't, the part that I always get flashbacks on, and you know, screaming, and I always blame myself, because
even though it was nothing to do with you,
I blame myself because I didn't do CPR on her straight away, and I didn't do it straight away because you think you're dreaming. I just thought I was dreaming.
It's not.
So I always think, you know, my mental health, I just screamed, and next door come in, because I just lost it. And then I done CPR on her, and then the police come, because the way I was, it was like I killed her. And soon as the ambulance come, there was about 8 busy cars, because the way I was, it did sound like I killed her. So when I finished, these are all the flashbacks again. When I finish, the policeman, when can I have a word with you? And I told them where to go. But I know that's their job. And he was only a young policeman. And
I don't know. It's tough to talk about, Col.
And the ambulance man said, said to me, he sat 20 minutes with me, and he said the words, he said to me, I've been in the ambulance 25 years, you had 20 minutes, I couldn't save her, so no chance you. So I felt a bit better then.
Yeah. Col, yeah, traumatic, we know, and emotional, and obviously we can only thank you for telling us the story about the what you've been through, the tragedies you've been through, and how it's caused your mental health.
Yeah.
Now, how long since
Janet
left?
Is 6 years this Christmas.
6 years, and your mental health is carried on.
Yeah.
You're having your flashbacks, you're having your traumatisation,
Yeah.
which just goes to show, and you're a massive supporter of our one step ahead of mental health.
Yeah.
And you think to get the message out there to kids, don't go suffer in silence,
Yeah.
talk about it, as we mentioned.
Yeah.
You're here now, you're talking about it, getting it off your chest, hopefully.
I'll be honest, I understand where because you're a man, we're all macho, we're too full of ourselves, and I still don't really talk as much. This is the first time I talked for a long time about it, and maybe it's what I needed with the anniversary of Frankie next week. I think I needed the gap.
Well, it is, and it's brought it out because you wanted to get a message of kids out there. We all know they all suffer in different ways.
Yeah.
There's bullying,
Yeah.
there's self-harming now because they've got problems on their head. They could be going through traumatised family bereavements like yourself, and it creates a blockage. And you just explained to our viewers, listeners, that it's a blockage and you'll have flashbacks, but it's going to be the same to kids. So we need to get this awareness out to kids that there's always someone around you. As you mentioned, it's good to talk.
Yeah.
It may help, but you'll still need support that you're getting as well.
The support I'm getting is of what you're probably trying to do for people is off Debbie, 12 Million Minds. Now, I never ever thought, like when Janet was alive, I didn't need no help, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't just get the one with Janet, I get the four. So when I'm upset over Janet, Maxine, Frankie, and Alan, all there, how they went, comes in my mind.
Yeah.
And the way I try and beat it is what Debbie said. In that side there's a devil, in that side there's an angel. And what they say is the devil's calling all your good things over to make them bad. And you can't let them. And so you've got to do something so that the angel ignores them. So I get up and make a cup of tea. I know it sounds strange, but...
No, maybe it's a good thing to you explain it to me, I'm thinking of that.
Yeah.
And I'm just hoping, I'm glad you've put the angel on this side because I want to be one of your angels.
Yeah.
And I think you've got angels around you as friends as well, that you look back and there's a lot out there as well who've probably done something to try and help you.
Yeah.
And you're probably worried because you're thinking, they're trying to help me and I'm not very good with them. And I sort of fob them off if they ask me to go somewhere and do things. But you've got to understand that they understand as well.
Well, it's like this morning, I got up, I was a bit bad because I always am leading up to Frankie's car crash and when we lost him on his birthday. And I put on our page what we have, and there's a girl on there named Paula Quinn. Well, I was the very first one in this group, and she come a week later, and we help each other, we get on really well, and if I'm suffering with something, I just put it on the group, and the group helps. People like Debbie explains why it happens and all that, and this is what you'll probably do when you start yours. You'll have your own little web page, and when people like mainly men and women, but mainly men, they'll put something on the page every blue moon, and it's not just Debbie that done something, other people think big hugs,
and it gives
and it helps you.
An answer.
Yeah, it helps you.
It makes you feel better.
Knowing that you're not on your own then.
And we're hoping to team up with White Pass, which is a youth organisation from children as young as 6 up to 25 years of age, and we're hoping that if anyone does get in touch with us, we've got the right route to go to. We'll pass them on to them. They can offer a lot more advice and help as we can.
Yeah.
But we know, as you coming in there, Col, there's a big push in mental health, and we want to be part of, and hopefully you can help. Maybe this will help you if you team up with us, and your experience. People will look, people will listen. Adults will look and see what their kids are going through, because we don't want the kids to suffer in silence. We want the kids, we want them to be given a voice. You've explained your traumatisation. We know kids out there are suffering in silence, and the message from us is one step ahead of mental health. We don't cross the line, as you've been part of over the many years, because we have a knack of bringing people together in the communities, and you know, you didn't hesitate, and we appreciate every move, because what you've been through, to come in and let our viewers and listeners know exactly what you've been through, is absolutely fantastic, Col, and it gives an insight into what we can do in the future, how we can help, what to look for in people. Col is probably an expert in what to look for in children. Used to be a football manager, took a back seat on that, Colin. You take time out to have a little rest.
Missing it.
You're missing it.
Yeah.
But no doubt there'll be something there that you're going to look forward to. What really has helped you and got you through the serious situations, Col?
I'll be honest with you, 12 million miles has really helped me, because you know, I'm being brave, not crying, know what I mean, but you see me when I was bad, I'm still like that, but I try and do it in the house, not in the streets. But even so, I haven't cooked a meal, you know, and I just try and get through each day. You know, sometimes you think, you know, people, like, you think you're on your own, the night times are the worst. Well, you just got to find something. You know, there's music. You know, I've listened to more music in the last 6 years than ever. That gets me through the nights. But I still won't go to bed before 1 o'clock. So if I fall asleep downstairs and I wake up at 4 o'clock, I'll still set my alarm till 7. And I've done that since the day Janet died.
So you, in your head, it's spinning. It's
what it is, yeah, I still think if I go to sleep before 1 o'clock, I'm not going to wake up. You know, it's horrible.
And obviously there's a lifeline there for you. We want to try and encourage you to try and get involved. You can go back, you will go back and think about it, and I know you will. We give you our press release to read over as well, and I'm sure we're going to get some fantastic feedback. Col understands everything that we're doing about mental health, and he wants this to be a massive project. We've got Chris Kirkland on board with us. We've got interviews that we're doing with a few celebrities. Col's given an absolutely fantastic interview there, and a really insight into what has caused his trauma over mental health. And obviously we're made up with 12 million minds who are helping them to get through it. And obviously there's organisations out there that people can go to and get the advice and get the help. But a big part of probably mental health is having your friends and family around you.
Because, like you say that now, but someone, you know, everyone works, you know, and what happens is they all have their own lives. You know, I've got my sons and all that, but they all work. So as you get older, and as they get older, you see less in everyone. You know what I mean? And that's just the way of life. Life, you know, everyone's got to work, and which I'd love to go back to work, but at the moment I can't, and that's why I ended up football. You know, because the way I was with the kids, it was great.
And now you're taking a back seat to try and get yourself together again and
try and get myself back to normal.
Well, we wish Col all the very, very best, and I once again appreciate Col coming in and talking about it. And it won't be the last time Col comes in, because we want to try and follow up on his stories. We'll have more guests coming into the studio, because we believe mental health needs tackling in a big way at grassroots football. We know there's situations out there that people are all trying to help and do things, but we want you out there to get on board with Don't Cross the Line. As we said, we've been bringing people together since 2003. We want it even more so now to carry on into 2025 and beyond. And Col, hopefully, will give us an insight and start looking into the things that we're doing to try and help the kids out there, because it does start at a young life, and there's your proof, and it carries on into adulthood. So kids out there, maybe some are traumatised, then we can support them. Don'tTextTheLine.com. You can add me as a friend on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all the social network sites, and you can follow one step ahead of mental health and the work that we're doing with our choir, Heart of Gold, Lean On Me, and we've got to thank the lottery once again for helping us to try and push this forward and make a massive impact in mental health across the grassroots side of things in football, not just on Merseyside but beyond. And we do know that mental health just doesn't happen in grassroots football. There's a lot of sporting activities that kids are affected by. We do know that pressure from grassroots football, parents, irate parents, spectators putting pressure on kids, pushy parents, forcing the kids may not want to do that football, the kids may want to do something else. Take a back seat, think, talk to the kids, listen to the kids. We'll give them a voice, but don't cross the line. As we give Col a voice to speak out, he has. Kids, if you watch this and you've someone around you, lean on me, call me. There's always someone there who can help you before you do anything dramatic in life. Thanks very much for tuning into the show. We'll be back again tomorrow. From myself, Mal Lee, and Colin Fulton.
So,
have a great day. Any queries, give us an email, mal@don'texttheline.com. One step ahead of mental health. We'll see you tomorrow. Cheerio for now.
I'll be late.